Joannie Rochette.
Doing good, huh? Thanks for the nice
There you go. That's what it's like for you now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit overwhelming. Since the Olympics, I was gone for a little while. I went to Japan, to USA for shows. Now I'm touring across Canada with Stars on Ice. I just went back to Montreal 2 days ago for the parade, and it was an incredible, nice welcome we got there. So thank you very much for all the support during the games. But even 2 months after, we can still really, people are really moved by the Olympics and are still really great fans. So thank you very much for the support.
Well, and then you had this incredible performance, and then this is yours. So you dropped this on the way, and we found it. What's when you know, in the bio, you saw pictures of the Olympic Games. Was it, when you look back and you see that, it was only a couple of months ago, but what do you think about those times?
It feels like it was so long ago because so much happened between the Olympics and now. But every time I see this, I still get shivers. I mean, this is my whole life. It's been my goal to be in that podium for so long, and to see it, I still can't realize it. And it's, for now, my most precious possession, and I still can't believe it. I have an Olympic medal.
Well, you get to, but you didn't just have an Olympic medal. You had to get that medal on the most incredible situation. And when that story came out that your mother had passed away during the games, obviously it's tragic, but tell me what you were going through at the time.
I was in a state of shock, for sure. When I heard the news, I couldn't believe it. I just thought I woke up from a very bad nightmare, and I couldn't believe it. But I was very lucky to have so many people supporting me. My family was there. My father had 8 people from my hometown with him. But of course, it was a lot of emotions. But at that point, when I made the decision to skate, I mean, I've trained for so long for that moment with her, with my mom, because she was always beside me. She was always helping me for whatever training. She was a very tough person, though. I think she raised me to be tough and to be strong in those kind of situations. And I think because of the way she raised me, I could actually go out there and compete. And the work was all done. And when you're there, I think I just had to push on that automatic button and let my body do the work when I was there. But for sure, there was a lot of her in that.
Did you think about not skating?
I did think about not skating, but after I announced to the world that I was going to skate. So I often do that in life, but...
So you're like, I don't know if I should do this, but what the hell, I'm going to tell everybody anyway?
Yeah, 15 minutes after I heard my mother passed away, I just told everyone, okay, just so you know, I'm going to skate. You can tell it to everyone, I'm going to skate. And after saying that, of course, during those 2 days, there were moments where I told myself, what am I doing here? I should be going back home, and I really don't feel like doing this. But at the same time, I got so many support from people in Canada and across the world, so many nice letters, flowers in the village, and every time I would get one, it would help me keep going, and that's how I could find the strength to do it, I think.
When you get out there on the ice and you go for that performance, and you know this is your moment, right? And you also know that it's not just that you're going through something so deeply personal, but you know that the whole world knows you're going through it. And so it's a collective experience. And then when you had to hit that triple, what was that? Like, were you aware that this was a very difficult jump that was coming? Like, what was all that like, knowing what you had to carry?
The hardest part was to get on the ice the first time and see everyone looking at me and having that sympathy look in their eyes. And knowing that when I stepped into the stadium that night, everyone knew what I was going through. I had a very nice and warm welcome, but I had only 1 minute to stay focused and 1 minute to take my starting pose from the moment they announced my name. So I was lucky.
That's a crazy minute.
Yeah, it's a crazy minute. A lot can happen, and if the emotion would have gotten to me at that moment, I don't think I could have competed. I had worked a lot with my sports psychologist who was with me inside, and he just told me to stand tall. And during this whole time, I was just focusing on that, just stand tall, you can do this. And I tried to be really cold about it and to be really emotionless, which was really hard. But that was the only way for me to compete. And I remember when I took my starting pose, my legs were shaking, and I told myself, oh gosh, how am I going to do this? And in figure skating, we're lucky because we have the music to relate to. So as soon as the music started, I just got immersed into it, and I didn't think so much anymore. I tried to shut my brains off and let my body do those jumps because I've been training them for so long. But there's just one moment at the end when I finish my skating, and because usually my mom is very tough on me, and everything I do in skating, she will always say her comments, and I could hear her when I would skate anytime. So of course at the Olympics it was even more precious to me that I could hear her voice, every little detail, every little spin. She could see everything. So I was really skating with her voice in my head, and when I finished skating, I mean that was the most emotional part for me.
Your body has a neat habit of telling you when something's up. You know, our minds do our best to put things aside, and then your body kind of goes, no, I don't think so. Did you have energy the whole skate? At any point did your body say, I don't know?
There was a few moments. It was real hard to find sleep there, but thankfully I would skate only 2 days after it happened. But yes, in my long program I was really tired, and we even made a plan with my coach. I took out some transitions so I could be very smart about the program and do a program that would be worth the most points. But yeah, I think you find the strength in those moments. When I got out there on the ice, even if I didn't sleep so much, I could find the energy in those moments where you turn off for all your life. The adrenaline takes on and keeps you going. There's this strength that you can understand that helps you keep going in those moments.
The part that's fascinating for people who watch figure skating on television is after you do your program, we hear the applause, we see the flowers, we know what goes on, but then everybody doesn't know what's going to happen. You sit down there in that spot with people beside you, and then we all wait for these scores to come up, and most people, especially during the Olympics, we don't even know what the scores mean, right? We're just waiting for somebody to say, she needs this.
Yeah.
And then what was interesting about you, though, and watching your team when you were sitting there, was that it was as if you weren't even paying attention to the scores. You weren't looking up at them. You were just involved in another conversation. Did you care at that point what the scores were?
For the short program, to be honest with you, I just wanted to get through it. I had no idea what would come out of me that night if I could do it. So when I went with my coach, I was just so happy that I could have done it, but I almost forgot how I skated. I was just relieved that it was over, that I had finished skating, and I didn't really realize how good my program was. Then when the score came out, I got 70, and I was like, wow, I could be in the podium. I have a real shot now, and that's great. And I'm a very competitive person. My mom always was for me, and I think that's what saved me. When I went on the first practice, 5 hours after learning my mom passed away, of course it was a little hard. I was just joking around, and then I saw one of the Asian girls do an ice triple that's next to me, and I kind of looked at her like, how can you do that better? And you know, it just that competitivity really saved me. It made me think of other things and make me really want it. And after the short program, I knew I had a good shot, because usually that's always the harder program for me. It's a tough deal, because if you make a mistake in that program, you can be from 3rd to 10th very easily. So after being 3rd, like, the pressure kind of went down, and I knew I was confident in my own program that it was a strong enough program.
You went straight to work. You finished the Olympics, so you could have been excused for taking a long break if you wanted to or needed to. But why didn't you just thought, let's do this?
Well, I think that's a very personal decision. Everyone grieves differently. I respect people who need to go home for a year after it happens. But for me, it's different. I've always been so busy. I've always been pushing myself into all kind of different projects that right after I got back from the Olympics, for me, it was so natural to get back into work. And it kind of helps me to think of other things. And I'm sure that's what my mom would want me to. And what am I going to do? Just sit in my apartment, dress in black and cry? Well, I'm dressed in black actually today, but proudly. Like, that's not me. I mean, it's really tough some days, I won't lie to you, but during the tour, I'm with 5 girls that I've known for the past 5-10 years. I have a really good group of people around me supporting me, and I'm getting closer with my father. It's hard because my father was not involved in my skating as much as my mother, and he kind of needs my help right now too, and I'm not there, so it's not easy. But this summer for sure I'm going to take time to be at home, but when you figure skating, to be an Olympic athlete, it's not a 9-to-5 job. You work on different projects, and right now this tour I'm doing will never happen again, so that's the only opportunity I've got to do.
What's it like to do Stars on Ice?
It's really fun because you get to perform without the pressure of competition. You don't need to wait for your spirals and to count until 6. You don't need to count the turns on your spin. You can just enjoy the crowd, enjoy the others, because we have some group members interacting with each other. So it's a lot of fun, and I think people that will come to the show can really see us in a more relaxed way. So it's a great show.
You can see Joannie, she's got kind of, I think, kind of Stars on Ice. I think